Before viewing video lessons, it is important to read the textbook using the learning guide as your turn-by-turn directions. Then use the learning guide to take organized notes in your own words with examples and pictures. This lesson will conclude stress, coping, and health with the small portion from Chapter 9 on motivation and emotion. Our focus will be on happiness. So we've spent a lot of time looking at stress, and if you think about what is the opposite of stress, happiness is probably what would first come into mind. And when we look at how well we're able to predict happiness or a stress well-managed life, what we find is that some of the things that we think will make us happy are pretty poor predictors of happiness. So for example, money, being a particular age, becoming a parent, intelligence and attractiveness are all factors that are poor predictors. Now, money is something that's often very debated in this particular category. And what we find is that you do have to have a minimal level of money to be happy. But being super rich doesn't make you super happy. Things that do have a moderate relationship with happiness are health and your overall social activity. And then strong predictors of happiness include things like being in a loving, committed relationship or married, having fulfilling work, and having certain personality traits such as optimism, extroversion, being conscientious, agreeable, and having a high sense of self-esteem. When we look at the data on relationship status, what we see is that both men and women are happier when they're married. However, if marriage doesn't go well, if you did not choose wisely, and you end up separated or divorced, then that's the most unhappy category. So it's a very important life decision choosing who you would marry. So as we've seen, stress starts with a trigger or potentially stressful event that gets filtered through our cognitive appraisals or belief about the event. And if we make alarming thoughts, alarming appraisals, where we view the event as threatening and overwhelming our ability to cope, we're more likely to have emotional, physiological, and behavioral stress responses. But engaging in constructive coping and being proactive can minimize our overall stress level and the long-term impact of stress. So as you can see, stress affects us biologically, psychologically, and socially, and is also affected by all three of those factors. So it provides a good model for this biopsychosocial view of human behavior.